1, 0, and liftoff.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mission Control. This is your host, Ramon Peralta with Peralta Design, and we launch brands, and we've got an exciting episode. I'm so thrilled to see my man, Kevin Atterbury, in studio.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Back from the dead.
Return of the Mac, literally.
Yeah. I wish I had the sound.
I'll put it in post.
Oh man! So Kev is our one of our senior back-end software developers. He's been on quite a bit of a hiatus, but he's back amongst the living, and we're so grateful to have you here, man.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Yes, and of course we have a cameo appearance by one of our newest flight crew members. Mr. Kaed Gonzalez, our interactive designer. Please welcome him to the show.
Thank you. It's nice to be in front of the camera for once. So
Yeah, and you got the velour tracksuit on.
I know. I am dying, but I'm living for the gimmick. I'm like, I am not taking it off.
Oh man, looks good. And of course, the man on the soundboard who took over for Kevin Atterbury, our director of web development, Mr. Jorge Pezo-Candelario.
Man who's getting it done because he's number one.
Oh, he's still doing it?
He's still doing it. And they're always
just
different.
It back, actually. Yeah. It wasn't the same without you to give me that. Right. I needed to get the sass back. And then when I found out you were coming back, I'm like, I got to start doing these again.
All right, nice.
Man, so what a year. I mean, Kev, you saw the tunnel and the light and came back and you're a believer now, which is something that was very moving to me, that moment we had.
Oh yeah, definitely. Good to be here. Definitely. Thanks for all the support and everything. And it was funny because I had a lunch with Labor from Team Inc. the other day, and she was like, "Did you really ask for your laptop in the ICU?" And I'm like, "I did."
Yeah,
I did.
Yes,
I woke up.
Dedication.
But then Ramon's like, "Don't think about work. Don't even work." I'm like, "Okay," because I want to feel like, no, he isn't pressuring me. He's the one that told me.
I could have had a Smithers moment there. Yes, work. Yes, no. We're glad you're here, man. But We're talking about something important here. As we look at this year, I think one of the biggest, you couldn't walk into a room and not hear someone talking about AI, so we want to get right to it. It's no longer an option to not embrace it and use it going forward. And I saw a quote recently by Mark Cuban of Dallas Mavericks fame or Shark Tank, wherever you might know him from. But he said there will be two types of companies in the future. Those that are great at AI and those that used to be in business. So let's talk about it because we're seeing, layoffs due to a number of reasons, right? The economy, AI, people are blaming it on AI. Jorge, you brought up the Industrial Revolution, people feeling like they're going to be replaced by AI. We see these big, massive layoffs at like Amazon and Google and Facebook and so on and so forth. Let's talk about it.
So I think it's important to note that we do have kind of a divide, and at least that I'm noticing amongst folks that I'm talking to. You do definitely have the folks who are kind of already on board and have realized, like, okay, this is kind of the way it's going. Even, I have a friend who works in the retail industry, but for a bigger company that works with like contractors and things like that. So you have a bigger demand in that, there's still plenty of demand for development, I think more than ever before. But he even, in us speaking, he was realizing, like, listen, it takes about 4 of us to run a store right now. In 3 years, it might only be 1 of us that needs to run the store.
Right.
And he's trying to get ahead so that he makes sure he's the one that's left.
There can only be one.
Right, exactly. So it has like this whole Highlander moment that's going on. And I have other folks who are just fully, I was like, we need a word to address them. And he was like, clankers. I'm just anti-clanker, man. Like, I can't get behind any of this, any of the robot, any of that. Like, they fully reject it, right? And there is definitely a social movement where, that I'm sure if you've been online, you've heard the term AI slop, where people are outright rejecting it. As the moment that you see anything was involved with generative AI, you're out. And that's not something that you want to be involved in. They have that full, that I respect that dedication. If you want to only patron businesses that are 100% human, that's a decision. But I do think it becomes, like I said, the Industrial Revolution.
I think it's resistance is futile type of situation because we can't stop it. It's moving quickly. We saw someone just get married to it in Japan. I mean, that's a sad commentary of where things are going. And having just had a grandson, I pray that we have a world left that we can leave for him to live in based on where a lot of this is going. But that being said, to Jorge's point, I think it's the first time in history where, the Industrial Revolution steam engine, like it replaced manual labor. It like the farmer with the oxen, all of a sudden he had a tractor and it was scary, but it did create more jobs. It created, auto repair shops and gas stations and all this other, other part of the ecosystem. But this is the first time in history where it's like the banker that thought he was safe up in the 17th floor, like nothing's ever going to replace me because I'm using my brain and you got to use your brain and not your body. This is the first time in history where the revolution is replacing brain power, processing.
The statistic that we heard was 65 months until AI is better than all humans at all tasks, which is a crazy thought in and of itself. Yeah. But also all the folks who thought, oh, we're safe. It like at the beginning, at the dawn of AI, you tried to make anything artistic. It couldn't produce anything that was it was like, okay, a valiant attempt, but we're good. Now it's putting out.
It's getting better.
It was like, oh, it can put out an illustration. Oh, it can do something that looks pretty photorealistic. Now, I think you have to assume that everything you see is AI until it's proven otherwise.
Yeah. But again, AI is not new. Like we've had AI for decades now. And it's like when I remember growing up, like for me, AI was the thing that helped scientists do calculations that would take humans hundreds of years.
Supercomputers.
Yeah,
right?
supercomputers.
Watson
so it's like it's not new. The resistance becomes when it's like, why it's a tool. At the end of the day, it's a tool. You're still going to need the human touch.
Well, I think that's going to be the biggest differentiator. Like you're saying, the banker and the people that thought, I was like, oh, I'm using my intelligence. Kind of like how we've always told like the high school kids and the teachers are asked, what skills are you looking for? And like, we can teach you whatever. It's the soft skills.
Right.
And I think those things are going to just become more important.
More
like
important,
I said,
and we're yearning for it. And the idea that kids are just going to push a button and create something or not be employable. We're seeing now a shift towards like, ironically, right, or maybe not so much, but the trades can't be replaced by AI. Like AI is never going to come in and like fix an electrical outlet for you or fix your plumbing or work on your car or, like there are, that's debatable. Maybe we're using AI to diagnose it, but I mean like actual physically picking up a wrench and changing a tire or something like that until the advent of robots, which is Jorge's been waiting for.
I don't no. Listen, Kev can attest to this.
He's a robot racist.
I am Mr. Robots don't have rights. Like my Roomba doesn't get to vote. Like that's not how it works.
You're just waiting to throw hands with a robot.
I don't bring robot slaves into my house. I'm on the right side of history.
Well, I always say thank you and please to Chat GPT. So.
You never know. You never know when it might be like turn around.
Gracious. I wanted to look at the history, but like check the logs.
Yeah,
I'm on your side.
I was always nice.
Yes.
I was always nice. No, but when we come back after this quick break, we're gonna dive into what we feel are gonna be the top AI tools for launching a business in 2026. So stay tuned. Why do we do Mission Control? It's not to create the world's greatest podcast, chase 1 million followers, or escape our day jobs. It's about something bigger. It's about a calling to tell meaningful stories, amplify voices that inspire, and shine a spotlight on those making a real difference in their communities and beyond. Mission Control is our platform to give back, to celebrate the motivators, the dreamers, and the doers. Whether you're a business owner, entrepreneur, educator, community leader, or someone with a vision for change, one thing is clear: you're making an impact. This is your space, your story. Together, we'll share knowledge, journeys, and hope. Welcome to Mission Control, Peralta Design's podcast, where the mission is clear and the impact is limitless.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
We launch ratings.
And we're back. Please join me once again to welcome the one and only Kevin Atterbury, special guest.
Good to be back.
And you're not AI. I just want to.
Not AI.
We just want to be clear
We
that
didn't
they're
transfer your consciousness.
not yet. Not yet. And also welcome back Kaed, who's making a cameo. Yes, the fans are going wild. They love when They love when Kevin's here. Like the whole energy changes. The fans like you can just hear the volume go up.
Wow.
You know, when they're here. So Jorge and I a few weeks back, went to this AI, conference up in Boston. And one of the questions that stood out to me was when he said, "Who in here has, AI glasses, or meta glasses?" And and I sheepishly, raised my hand. I thought there'd be more. And he was like, "Okay, there's one." And he goes, I don't know, what did he say? Like in 3 years or 5 years? Let's just say 3 years. He goes, in 3 years, there'll be one person that doesn't have, AI glasses. And while I was in the class, I took a photo of him and animated it. Had him like jumping into the screen using like Meta AI. It happens so quickly. These glasses are addictive when it comes to that. I did one with Doug Rawadi when he was here yesterday. So like, there's a fun aspect of AI in the tools, but there are some serious implications as we talk about the top AI tools for launching a business in 2026. And you guys all know we're migrating away from Salesforce, for a number of reasons. We've had it for a couple of years as a CRM. We put our leads in there. I'm able to see our pipeline, our contacts, our questionnaire kind of goes through there. So as a small business, some sort of CRM or, client relationship management or customer relationship management tool is vital. Like the days of keeping a Rolodex are gone. If something were to happen to me with a CRM, somebody can go in there and see who's the last contact we've had and so on and so forth. Because I'd still be warm, and you guys would be like looking to see who, what's the next project here. So we're moving away from it for a number of reasons, and we can have a kind of open dialogue. We're not here to slam Salesforce. I think that it's a great tool. You as a business need to find like what AI tools are going to be a good fit for you. And for us, we felt like we were looking for more AI integration or some automation, things that'll make things easier. I think we're going to see that trend moving forward where companies are going to want to do more with less, punch above their weight, have what they're calling like an agent force or AI force or AI agents, basically extensions of each team. And we're going to go around the room here today and talk about, based on what we each do and the teams that we lead, how AI can be integrated. And so we're moving towards Monday. We came from, Jorge, if we go back, we had Function Fox, Teamwork,
Basecamp,
Trello. So many of these that we're already using AI. To Kaed's point, AI has been around for a long time. It's just advancing at a really rapid rate. And so we're looking at Monday because it has a CRM aspect and then it has the work management. So for us, we want to know, we want to be transparent. It's one of the pain points in an agency where clients want to know where they're at in the scope, and they don't want change orders, and it's just a real big pain point that can be alleviated with AI, we think, because it allows us to track, to see trends, to look at data. So we're moving from Salesforce over to Monday, and the other one that we signed up for is Scribe, and it's in this little packet. It's workflow documentation, but we like it for its purposes of it auto generates these step-by-step guides. So, small businesses are always trying to figure out what their processes are. We're always kind of looking to improve it. And with Scribe, it's a plugin for Chrome, and essentially will document screenshots of any action you're taking. So for me, I'm creating a proposal. It will take step-by-step screenshots of that process, automatically create a kind of like a dashboard where I have our company can have all these different tasks that anyone does, and you're kind of creating like in real time an operating manual for the things that you do. So we're really looking forward to really diving deeper into both of those. And
let's back up a second just to talk about why that's important. And if you're here and you're listening and you're looking to start your own business, as many people are, right? That's one of the things that we've done.
Yeah.
Whenever times get tough, people start to branch out on their own.
Yeah.
People start to launch their own business, either because they were let go, the story of how we got here. The Peralta Design then and Peralta Design now has to do with, it all started because of economic crisis. And there was really the choice of some of our fears was happening, and Ramon had to take action, and that's how we ended up here all this time later. We started in a basement, sharing a desk with with Ramon's Frenchie, and it was like
a lot of extension cords,
a lot of extension cords, a lot of manual tasks, a physical planner, a physical
notebooks,
calendar.
yeah.
It would literally be, I'd see Ramon have the calendar on his desk, take the calendar protector off, write that down there, right? A lot of manual tasks, and that's how we got business done. And now it's 15 years later, and we continue to see people launch businesses, and our business has had to evolve. So if you're listening and you're looking to launch your own business, you can absolutely choose to do everything on paper if you'd like to. You have then also chosen to be a step slower than everybody else who's doing it.
Yeah.
Which is it's going to be a conscious choice for you or not. All of these tools is basically like having your own workforce give you additional support. And that's really what we're advocating the most in terms of using AI as a tool, not a crutch, right? If I used AI to write all of the code that we wrote, as we've heard a lot of people who proudly declare themselves vibe coders, and I don't want to hate on them for wanting to be able to do what couldn't be done before, right? Like, I don't want to be ableist in that, like, okay,
I'm sure we have friends doing it, so we're not like,
right. But it's more at an enterprise scale, or just at a bigger, like, if something breaks, or a user is like, oh man, I don't know how to update this, and for some reason you can't get in and you don't know what to do there, that's a disadvantage that you put yourself at. So it's the people who have the biggest advantages take my expertise, combine it with AI for the best possible result, where we're working faster, we're working smarter. So as a business owner, a CRM is vital. Why is it important? Why do you want to have a CRM? You need to see where's your money coming from? How are you making it? Where are the opportunities? What are you leaving on the table? Automatically following up with people. If only you had followed up with somebody every 6 months, you would have increased your revenue by 10, 20%. Who knows? This is why having a CRM is so important, because if you don't have this information, you can't take action on it.
Yeah, Jorge, I wanted you to, because I failed to do so, but you can. The custom GPTs, because Chat GPT, I didn't mention it. That's still my favorite. Obviously you can talk to it while you're driving and it'll answer stuff. This morning I was like, should I get the COVID and the flu at the same time?
Yeah.
What will happen to me? I'm trusting this as like this computer as my doctor. It's probably like, sure,
WebMD.
die, human, die. Take it all. So. But custom GPTs, I think you were alluding to it earlier. I think that's a huge win for businesses, especially the fact that we learned about that and how you can actually take specific tasks and create a custom GPT just for that task or just for that team.
Right. So one of the things that is an incredibly valuable tool is training AI to build better solutions for your team and for your business. You can, instead of having it look at the data at large, most of us, if we're using ChatGPT, we're asking it a question, it's searching the internet. That's kind of and that's why it's prone to make mistakes, because you're kind of relying on what the internet
pulling from everywhere.
Exactly.
You mean I shouldn't have gotten both vaccines? Oh no.
No, some guy on Reddit said it's okay.
Yeah. What MD is good to go.
Right. Exactly. So instead of that, you can actually empower it. You can upload your own documentation for whatever your field is, and have it and train it on that specific data set. So that way you're not asking from random dude user XYZ123 on Reddit, but on whatever the documentation is that you have.
So that's a good point, because I was reading when I was prepping for the show, is like the businesses that adopt agents versus the app itself tend to like jump the curve a lot faster than everybody else. It's like you're building this thing that's going to operate independently, helping you, versus you having to prompt it every single time. So yeah, that's a great point.
Precisely. And you just cut down on time dramatically. We have a
way more relevant to you, because you've given it a sandbox which is relevant to your business versus having it go out into the world for every answer.
Well, it's like you're alluding to, like, having the CRM, right? Like, I'm not sure what Mondays is called, but for instance, like I said, Salesforce has Agentforce. That's the whole thing of this isn't running off the internet. It's your own data. So it's great that, like I said, if you have something, it's your own data that it's analyzing, and not just random, like what the industry is doing specific to you, to give you like your own insights on your own data.
And it becomes something that now you can then package for a specific, like once you kind of have that one baseline, now you can modify it, right? If you've built something for one client and then you have somebody who's kind of adjacent, now you can tweak and modify it with keeping everything that it's already learned, but now modify it for that specific
Yeah,
use
exactly.
case.
I love that. It could be you can have it just be closed just for you, like you created it and only you have access to it, or you can share it with your team, or you can share it publicly with other companies that might benefit from it. So I think there's opportunity there. You and I were talking about potential verticals in that space where we're creating custom GPTs for our clients.
And it helps to just think about how much time you can save on the average, right? So talking about other platforms, I've been looking a lot at Fixer AI, which is just about inbox management. I think this is something that if you're working in an office, it's like the inbox becomes one of the most challenging things.
Keep seeing ads for that one. That's FY, right?
Yeah.
XER.
Yeah, exactly. And this is something that it's not the only solution. You can absolutely hook up your email to a bunch of other AI solutions, but that's just what they specialize in. But just think about what you could do if you had an hour back every single day of the week, 2 hours back every single day of the week to be able to, because all of that manual work of, sifting through it, prioritizing, responding. If you could have it say, all right, here's the whole inbox, here's everything prioritized in order. I've drafted a response, make edits, or it's good to go. And you've saved time dramatically. And it's talking about learning from your own data, it's learning from the way that you craft email responses. So it's speaking in your voice, which is a little creepy to think about.
You still got to edit it, yeah.
Right, exactly. So the whole goal, and this is what we've heard, is that the whole goal of mastering AI is to get you 70 to 80% of the way there.
Okay.
If you are like a ninja, if you're like a Navy SEAL at AI, that's where it should net out. The novice is maybe 10 to 15% of the way there as you move up the chain, 30 to 50%. But once you're, at that top level, if you get it 80% of the way there, think about how much faster you can execute things. And that's just for just taking a lot of the manual time and labor out of it, still making sure that you're in control, and it becomes now an extension of yourself and just enhancing the capabilities that you already have. And I think that's the most important part.
Absolutely. Kev, what are some of the AI tools you're using or that you like?
So one that I've really been enjoying recently for development has been GitHub Copilot. That's like Microsoft's. And kind of like we've been talking about, like they call it Copilot for a reason, because they say like it shouldn't be flying the plane. This should just be assisting you. This isn't just, don't use this to try to just create applications all on its own. Just have it make things more efficient. And it has, like through either the inline suggestions, which is like as I'm coding, it just predicts what I'm going to do next. It's not 100%, but I mean, it's pretty good. And it does. And so instead of me actually typing it out or copying and pasting anything, it's like, oh, is this what you want to do next? And then you can just hit a button if it is. And it's like, yeah, all right, that's close. And a lot of times that's almost there, but that's enough where I can just change it. And it just makes the workflow, it's like seamless, just built in. And it's like you're not even doing anything. It's just like assisting you as you're going. And it's amazing. And then though, there also is just like a built-in chat where you can be like, yeah, you know what? I'm looking for this, create this for me. And then it'll start creating the files. And kind of like I was saying with the CRM, it's great. And I like it over ChatGPT because it knows the context. It knows the files you're working on. So it'll like pull in classes, names from other things, other functions. So like when it's creating it, it's using, information from other files you already have open. So it's much more accurate to where, you're going to ChatGPT and you ask for something and it's like, oh, here's just a generic thing. And it's like, all right, maybe this will work or fit in what I have. But yeah, it's been working great. And then there's other ones I haven't even got a chance to use yet. I feel like there's more and more coming out. And like I've heard about like Claude. People are saying that's pretty much in less than a year going to be better than any developer. And then Google came out with their own fork of VS Code called Anti-Gravity that supposedly utilizes tons of AI agents, and people are saying like it's amazing, like you're coding and it's off doing unit tests on its oown, and it's like having just like a whole bunch of AI
Imagine
agents
like
doing for you.
QA is going to be AI driven.
Oh yeah, definitely. So no, it's and I love it. I feel like this is the equivalent of your math teacher saying you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket everywhere you go.
Like,
I'll never forget.
I had a calculator watch. That's how old I am.
Oh, I remember one of those. I was a kid.
Casios.
I love it because something that's always been the bane of my existence was good comments, and they're important. But I use AI for that now. Like I was telling Matt something, I was like, I literally use AI to comment now. I don't write my own. I'll check it and verify it, but it works so well, and it just made me think about. You're like, you're gonna have to write comments. Like, no, I don't. I don't have the AI do that. I'm just gonna write the code, have it comment. But I was talking to a guy who's been, doing development longer than I've been alive, and I've heard other people have this kind of same sentiment in that he doesn't like AI not because of its capabilities, but he's like, if I use AI, I'm reviewing code, I'm not writing code. I'd rather write code. And I've had a lot of people have that where that's kind of where they think it's going to go, where it's like, you're not going to be writing code anymore. You're just going to be reviewing it to make sure it's good, implementing it, and then that's it. Which I will honestly sounds boring.
Absolutely.
That's not anywhere near as exciting. It's kind of like, coding is
Wally
an art.
World, yeah.
Coding is an art form in and of itself. I feel like everyone kind of has their own unique approach to things, and it's similar to where imagine if you were doing something creative, where you go to, like if you just had it created all the time, you're just missing out on the actual creation part that makes it unique.
Yeah, what's going to happen over evolution? And we're going to just lose our creativity, our ingenuity. Like our brains are probably going to start shrinking after a while.
The worst part is just thinking about that AI only knows what we give it access to, right? So every bit of art that it creates is just a prompt based on an existing style.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like it's kind of trying to find a facsimile, and then you can even feed it references, so that way it's kind of pulling from that. So it's kind of like it's a shortcut to losing out on creativity. So I'm hoping that we get to the point where we can find the harmony between both.
And speaking of creativity, we need to Kaed, you need to chime in because there's so we're seeing like we were talking about Will Smith spaghetti videos and how they've evolved, like whether it's Soros or Midjourney, like they're getting better. Even Meta AI, you can do quick stuff that looks decent. I'm looking for fingers still and things that it doesn't quite understand. But as a video editor and animator, what are your thoughts, and what are some of the tools that you've used?
I come from the world like I was 50-50 in AI. It's like I don't want things taking away the creativity that I do, because you can feed it whatever and it's gonna be very clear, very technical, very clean. Right? It's like that's not the point. For me, what I've gotten more used to is using tools that are gonna speed up my process. Like I know what I want to do. Like for example, this podcast, multi-camera, multi-channel. I can have a tool that is going to know where the audio is coming from, and it's going to make the cuts. That's going to help me further down the line, because then I can spend more time polishing it,
right? Working
more on the intros, working more on the smoothing it out a little bit more. So yeah, it's for me it's 50-50. My problem is when people think they can completely take the human element out. I was like, oh, I don't need designers because I have AI. It's like, no, you need problem solvers. You need somebody that is going to look at your client base. He's going to look at your needs and is going to have to work with you to create that. So yeah, stuff like Firefly, stuff like Nano Banana, we were just using it for a project, and I was like, this is scary because it created a video that was way too accurate. I'm like, it's great technology, but it has its place, and I don't think right now it is for me. Because it's like, no, this is almost like unethical to a point. So yeah, stuff like AI, Nano Banana, Gemini, I'm using it more from a starting point, concept art, sketching the shots. Sometimes I don't have access to the elements I need. So it's like, okay, I see it in my head, I see it in my scripts, I feed it to the computer, it gives me something similar that I can work with. So it's that. It's
just be FPO for now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like even I had a project where I was working for this exhibition, and I had an idea. They wanted to do this library card for an athlete. I'm like, one of his iconic shoes. I'm like, oh, it's a library. It's kind of like a museum setting. So I'm like, oh, I want to do his shoe, but in marble and a podium, shot in a studio. I don't have access to a studio. I can't carve a marble shoe. But I can scratch it out, feed it to the computer, give me like the closest thing, and then I can take it on and then manipulate it to what I need. So it's all about time saving for me.
Exactly. Doing what you already know how to do, taking and combining your expertise with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, guys, we've talked about a lot of the tools that we're using, we recommend, and I think they'll be helpful for folks launching businesses in 2026. You all know our tagline that we launch brands. So we're here to help, and we're going to continue to put out content around AI and helping to train folks. And we're seeing some marketing agencies completely pivot towards the AI training space. I did want to mention, as you navigate this, that some of these tools are free and then some of them are paid. And then there's some that are going to try to upsell you. And so just kind of use your due diligence on all those. And just quickly, just to give you an idea. So some of the ones we mentioned today, like Copilot, to get that license, it's about $30 per user per month. Gemini, you're seeing, that's Google's AI tool. You're seeing it. If you Google anything, it'll usually give you like a Gemini overview. It's their version of ChatGPT. It's changing the way you advertise too. I'll just quickly mention that, a lot of our clients maybe, we're helping them with Google ads and so forth, but if they don't have good blogs on their page, because right now Gemini is actually pulling answers from blogs and almost bypassing the Google ad. So now you're going to click on that blog post that Gemini just teed up for you. And if that company is savvy enough, they'll be selling that product or service that you're looking for. And you may just ignore the Google ads. So make sure blogs are part of your strategy. And the paid Gemini or AI Premium is about $19.99 a month. We're seeing Scribe. We signed up for it. Scribes for Scribe Pro, it's about $30 a month. They all have some sort of a fee attached for the upgrade. I noticed in Monday that some of our team was getting prompted to sign up for like the time tracker, which was like a third party. So you're gonna have so many of these, so many folks trying to ride this wave and launch plugins and apps and things. Just be savvy and careful, because the Monday license already came with its own time tracker, but then within it, it's trying to upsell you to get some other one. So it definitely, just be careful navigating it. But definitely it's here to stay. You need to embrace it. As Mark Cuban said, there will be two types of companies: those that get really good at it and those that used to be in business. So any closing thoughts, team, on AI and 2026?
I have a question for you guys, actually. When building a brand, we're building a business, when launching something, what are the potential downfalls of using AI improperly early on?
I'll just say, from a brand standpoint, obviously it's very hard to find anything proprietary. It's not, I've noticed when we use it for ideation, like around a slogan or the company name, it's not clever. Like that's a human attribute, like being witty or clever. So it gives you options as a good starting point. But I think then if you want to really take it to the next level, it does require like human creativity. And will that get better? I don't know. I think the more it learns about us, maybe it'll start to get snarky, sarcastic. Again, that's kind of a voice that you can give it. And from a branding standpoint, it's like a robotic Fiverr. It's like it's going to be difficult to trademark something that's AI generated, because who's to say it's not generating that for somebody else in the same space. So I think it's a good tool to use for ideation. It's like having somebody else in the room that's coming up with ideas, but ultimately you have to curate those ideas to what's going to be best for your customer.
On the web development side of things, there's definitely, we have had a couple of clients start out with kind of like their own AI driven website. And then, just today I had a call with a client that's where they started. They had us come in and do the creative, and they told me, the difference is night and day. Like, you can see how much more professional when the human touch comes in and starts to add those little things. That's one of the key things in general, I think, for if you're starting a business, period, is the thing that keeps you in business is people not knowing what they want. And that's really the whole bit, is that even if you could say, type it into a box and it'll give it to you, knowing what to type into the box is the challenge, right?
Yeah. I was saying the other day, as far as like development, someone showed me something they did, and I'm like, technically this works, but I'm going to show you why it's bad. It gave you, it answered the question you asked it, but you asked it to do the wrong thing. And like, it was terribly inefficient. If it was something that needed to scale, it would eventually get really slow and come to a crawl because of how it was programmed. But it answered your question. This is what you asked it to do. It did it. It worked, but they couldn't recognize that it was bad. So it could be, like I said, the whole vibe coder thing could be dangerous if you're building a whole application like this and it's working at the time, and then when things go to scale, you run into a huge issue, all because of a small
fix.
Yeah, or it'd be very expensive,
right?
Just because you didn't set up properly to begin with, because you didn't know that
could be the death of your business right there.
Yeah,
might be great in that regard if you want to prove the concept or you want something quick.
Yeah,
vibe coding, prototyping, get your idea, get an investor on board. But then when you're building the real product, we don't recommend that it's all vibe code.
Yeah, and like I said, it was great as long as I feel bad for people just starting out, because that must be a big temptation. It was like, I could learn how to do this, or I could just have a build it for me.
I mean, the other theme is we're seeing people cost cutting and saving, and so they're gonna be more tempted to bypass a professional and try to do it on their own. And so we'll see what 2026 brings. We're here to help. We're here to, we're not going to judge you if you come with us and say, I did all this on ChatGPT, but it might help us understand what it is that you're trying to do with your business, and we can take it from there.
That's great.
All right, everybody. Thank you, Kev, for making the cameo.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
We love having you here. Kaed, great job on your
thank you.
Your first mission on Mission Control. So, and Jorge, as always, great insights on everything AI, and we'll do more of these. I think as we continue to bring in guests, I think there's value to be given in the space of AI for our listeners. So, folks, thank you for listening to this episode of Mission Control. Until next time, this is your host, Ramon Peralta with Peralta Design, and we launch brands.